Hi guys, in Miami this evening and asking a question. Start with why. Have we taken that concept a little bit too far? Of course, start with why, that's an old concept from Simon Sinek. He introduced it about 15 years ago in his famous TED Talk. And in that talk, he talks about Apple computers, he talks about the Wright brothers, talks about Martin Luther King, and explains that the reason they found success is because they knew their purpose, they understood why they do what they do, and they were able to communicate that successfully. Now, I personally think it's an interesting concept, but it's a little more nuanced and complicated than he makes it appear in that talk. But what I've seen recently, which is, I think, a little flawed, is this concept start with why has started to appear in different sales presentations, and I've seen it even in introductions where somebody introduced themselves in a networking environment and then said, "Let me tell you my why." And I'm kind of like, well, what if I don't want to hear your why? I think it's a flawed approach in the sense that it violates the old Dale Carnegie rules where you don't talk too much about yourself. It's really a way to turn people off if when you're introducing yourself or you're giving a presentation, you start to make it about you and talk too much about yourself. I think a better formula is to ask some questions and engage in a dialogue, engage in some correspondence, and that's a much better approach to creating a connection. So I say, start with why, a good concept, but not necessarily the place to use it is not necessarily in a sales presentation or a networking situation.